Some of these might not make the cut, but here's one last more. One last more? What am I saying? Some of these might not make the cut, but here's one last track. Welcome. I've been really looking forward to today's episode ever since I picked up this dual cassette deck. It's a Kenwood, and which is usually a really good brand. This one, however, has some rust on the playback heads, and I'll show you some separate video of that. Now, when I first tested it, the playback was really distorted, like it was oversaturating the signal. With that in mind, I set about finishing a song that I was working on because I thought it would suit this project really well. But what I found after a couple of days of setup was that this machine didn't act as it initially did when I got it. Mystery there, but the long and short of it is we can still replicate the tape saturation effect that it had that fateful day. And the way to do that is with a second tape machine. This one is a realistic, the SCP-31 to be exact, which it's pretty basic. All it has is the tape selector, and you play and rewind, etc. A single output on the back, and that's all she wrote. But the cool thing about this is we can use it to record into here and use the record level to saturate the tape. Anything over 0 is basically saturating the tape. In other words, the louder the input signal, the more dense the magnetic particles are put down on the tape, thus saturating it. It's a more desirable form of distortion. We're going to exaggerate it quite a bit here though, so it's not going to be that desirable at the end of the day. It's mainly to see how far we can push it, because what I intend to do is we'll get one generation of the tape saturation recorded, and then we'll do it again using the recorded tape as the source. So we'll see how that pans out. But for starters, let's look at our tapes. We have two TDK SA90s. I'm not sure why this one has a C90 designation. They're both chromium dioxide, which is the higher quality tape. I'm not worried about what happens to these tapes because I have about 100 of them in a job lot that I got from a yard sale, all with various things on them already. And I'm not super worried about sound quality in this case because we're basically distressing the audio, and the more hisses and pops and wibbles and wobbles, the better. So without further ado, let's look at our tape. And I'll show you a clip of me recording the audio to this in the studio. I used my Fostex 4-track, direct from my computer. So let's pop it in the machine. And we'll grab our second tape, which is the one we'll be recording to, side A we want. It will go in here. This has Dolby, but I'm going to leave it off because it makes it a little bit more muffled. Balance is going to be set to center, and we have normal and high-speed dubbing. Maybe I'll show you a high-speed a little later. That's kind of fun. I used to have a lot of fun with it when I was a kid. This is plugged into the back of the machine, and the output from this is going to my Tascam recorder to my left. Okay, so let's turn on. A little red light has come on our peak level meter. You'll see here that that is the 0 point, and then we have +3 and +6 above there. The first song we're going to be hearing is called Arcade, and you'll have heard a little bit of that on the playback earlier. We'll pick a level here that looks good, and then record that track then listen back to it to see how it sounds. And then the second time around, we're going to go all the way to the 10, basically overdrive it as much as we can, and then record, I think we're going to record about 5 or 6 songs today. I'm only going to play back little bits and pieces of them for you so that you can hear the results of what we're doing here. Okay, so on with the setting of the record level. We'll pause, record, play at the same time, and then unpause this and press play. And watch our meter. There it is. And it's just hitting below 0 there. So now let's crank it up a little bit. That's about where I would have it if I was doing a serious job of this song. But we're going to crank it to 8 this first time around. Okay, we'll stop and rewind the tape. And I'm going to leave that little bit of experimentation on there for posterity. So now we're going to record the entire track at level 8, and we'll stop it there and play it back and see how it sounds. Here we go, unpause, play. So the next step is to check our playback, which we could play it back directly from here, but I was also having some trouble with the speed of this side of the tape recorder. If it's still doing it, we'll have a listen to that later, but I want to hear this back at the correct speed, or as close as we can get. So let's change this to here. Well, there you go. That was pretty banging. But you can hear the effect that the saturation is having on the tape. And now we're going to try ramping it up to level 10 and doing a bunch of other songs as well. So we'll set that up to go, and I'll take a little break while it's doing that, and we'll be back to listen to some of the results. Okay. Okay, so all our tracks are recorded to the tape at recording level 10. So I think we've kind of gone overboard by putting it all the way up here to +6 and beyond. But we wanted to find out how far we could push this, so let's give it a listen. So we'll play a little bit of the first track on our saturated tape, and then we'll preview some of the other songs on the master tape and compare them with the saturated tape back and forth, just so you get an idea of what's going on. Alright, here is track 1. Well, so you can see by the meter how far we pushed that. It's basically hitting the top all the time, other than a few little in-between moments. The vocals are pretty distorted, and a lot of the heavy bassy parts are distorted also. Anytime the mix gets really full, it pretty much distorts. That's a pretty impressive result. I'm not sure I really want to push it any further than that, to be honest, but I will try at the end of the video one more dub of the first track from this tape to another one, just to see, at level 10 that is, just to see how crazy that sounds. But for now, let's fast forward to track 2, the master first, and then the dub. Okay, so I had to run and grab another tape because we have to have this armed for record in order to hear playback from this one, and we have to disarm this one in order to hear this playback here, so bear with me. Okay, so here's a little piece of the next track. This is called The Glow of Screens. Alright, so now let's hear the saturated version. That one was very crunchy. Well now, let's carry on to the next one, shall we? Okay, so here's a little piece of Electro Magnetic.
Electro Magnetic. Electro Magnetic. Electro Magnetic. Electro Magnetic. Electro Magnetic. Electro Magnetic.
All right. And the same again, only saturated this time.
Magnetic. Electro Magnetic. Electro Magnetic. Electro Magnetic. Electro
Now I'm going to fast forward to another part of that song because there's another piece I want to listen to. Here we go. Oh, wow. It's pretty messed up. Okay, moving right along. The next one is called Trans Earache Express. Let's have a listen to the master. Good. Now the saturated version of that. I'll spare you any more of that. That one got pretty unlistenable. Oh Lord. But again, this is just a test. We're just seeing how far we can mangle these songs. That one went a little bit too far beyond the beyond. Let's go, we've got a couple more here to listen to, so let's find them. So this is the electro mix of Atomic City. Now I have very little memory of working on this song. I hadn't played it in a long time and I questioned some of my decisions, but here we go.
Ever stop to think that the breeze which rustles the flowers and trees carries the scent of spring, warmth of summer, and the spice of winter could be radioactive?
Okay, you get the idea on that one. Let's hear the saturated version.
Ever stop to think that the breeze which rustles the flowers and trees carries the scent of spring, warmth of summer, and the spice of winter could be radioactive? Could be radioactive. Cities near atomic plants are pleasant places, comfortable and well-built family homes. Radiation detection tracks.
Yeah, the bass frequencies seem to suffer the most on most of these tracks, which is not surprising. Again, that track was pretty messed up when all the instruments came in, but you can hear the kind of applications you might use this for. Industrial drums, perhaps. If you just fed the drum track through this machine, it would give that crunchy, distorted sound, and I think that would work really great in an industrial track. So that's all the songs I'm going to subject you to tonight. I am going to do a couple more things though. Let's get this tape out of here. That's our dub. So what do we got on this one, for out of curiosity? I pulled this out of a random box.
Right here in beautiful Arizona, the Valley of the Sun. Boy, it sure is the Valley of the Sun, isn't it? No, I was so pleased to come. Surely your activity director asked me if I could come over and do a show for you, and I said, great, I'd just love to come. Thank you.
Okay, so that's some kind of comedy tape with a very low recording level. This is also a high bias tape. It's a BASF, and we are going to record our dub. We'll just do a little piece of arcade and we'll put it on here, going with recording level 10. This should demonstrate just how distorted we could get a second generation recording on this machine. It's probably going to sound absolutely horrible, but in the interest of science, we are going to try it. Here we go. Okay. So we'll take our dub out, and then this is our second generation dub, which we will play in here. This could be very scary, so brace yourself. Wow. Thrashed almost beyond recognition. So I'm not going to subject you to any more of that. Okay, so earlier this side was playing back slower than normal, and that was quite interesting, but now it must have, the motors must have worked themselves free. This hasn't been played in a long time. We're going to experiment with track 2, The Glow of Screens. Alright, so we'll switch it to high-speed dubbing. We'll arm this side and we'll press play over here. Totally transformed. Oh, that's hilarious. So there you go, that's some fun with tape saturation on a Kenwood dual cassette deck. I deliberately went overboard with the input levels just to demonstrate what kind of extreme effects can be had with this technique. If you drive the level closer to +3, you get a more subtle effect, something a little more listenable, for example. Some of this stuff, it was just way too much compression and distortion, especially on the bass frequencies, and when you get all the instruments stacked together, It just kind of thrashes things. But it was a fun time. I was so looking forward to trying this out, and it didn't disappoint. The songs Arcade and The Glow of Screens are my new singles. You can get those on most digital services. Bandcamp is my preferred one, but Spotify, etc. have those. They'll be the high quality versions, of course, not the distorted ones. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this fun little experiment. It's given me some ideas for experimenting with sounds, and maybe we'll revisit this another time with some different tracks or different sounds, and see what we can come up with. Until then, thanks for watching.